Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the final episode of the West Ham Save. My name is KC Sports. And as you can see today, we're going to be facing Manchester City, but that is not all. Let's first talk about what's been happening. So we left off, of course, with that disappointing game against PSG where we would win, but it wouldn't be enough. 1-0 over Chelsea thanks to a goal from Jeremy Frimpong. We would then beat Nottingham Forest 3-1. Newcastle, and it should be said George Lanikania popped in with a goal. Rakov would score double to beat Newcastle. Brentford would go down 4-0 thanks to Bowen. A double from Ward Prowse and a very unlucky on goal from Nathan Collins. And Leeds would be lost 2-0. Bunani and Ait-Nouri both with the goals. And finally we'll beat Wolves 5-1. So we've been on an incredible run of games. All 7 are victories, defeating PSG, Chelsea and Newcastle. And now we have Manchester City, Brighton, West Brom, Fulham and Liverpool. And you do not need to worry, we won't be playing all 5 of these games. We're going to be playing the game against Manchester City, then we'll come back for the game against Fulham and Liverpool. But where are we in the league table? Well, Manchester City have just lost to Fulham about a day or two ago, which means we sit in second place on 71 points. Manchester City on 70, Liverpool on 70, and then we go down to United on 66. But top of the table, Chelsea on 74. However, they have a game in hand. So if we are victorious in this game against Manchester City, we will actually take top spot with 4 games left to go. The highest we've been so far this season is first place, which was just before Chelsea played, but we were up in third a little while ago. By the way, I hope you enjoyed the new skin. This is basically the goodbye skin to the West Ham save and the little link into the save against for the Hall of Fame challenge. I'm very, very excited for that. So, the squad looks a little something like this. Trubin, Christensen, Torres, Todibo, Frimpong, Fabinho, Ward-Prowse, Bowen, Vert, Brunani and Ferguson. The classic 4-2-3-1. We went back to what worked best. It's very, very good tactic. Quite similar to Gegenpress, but not entirely the exact same. And it's definitely, we've signed so many incredible players. When you look at this, all apart from Bowen and Ward Prowse have been signed, and all were signed for very big money. So yeah, this is a huge team. This is a team that deserves to win the Premier League, in my opinion. So we said Ben Johnson actually played in that 5-1 win over Wolves, and made me very, very happy that our little boy still pops up strong, and Kudish off the bench with a great game as well. But I'm actually going to start Rakov over Ferguson, just because Rakov is fully fit and playing quite well. Ferguson still finding his fitness. Let's get into it. Obviously, we all know how good Manchester City are, how impossible it feels to beat them. We need to, though. We need to, no matter what, get this victory. Now let's kick into it. First highlight, 30 seconds in. We'll start with us on the ball. Jesus Prowse, though, tackled by Rodri, and it's Bellingham coming forward. Their big signing, Trubin, a very, very good save. And I've said it for the last year and a half, nearly 2 years. There's nobody better than Trubin. I don't think there's a single better goalkeeper in world football right now. I will look at Chelsea's schedule just before we advance to the Fulham game and see if there's a chance that maybe we would overcome them. But we cannot lose. That is the main thing. We cannot lose. Though City do have a very tough end to their season. I think they've still got Liverpool and Arsenal to play. But a draw is bare minimum. A win pretty much necessary. Phil Foden driving forward here on this left wing. Always dangerous. He finds Rodrigo, formerly of Real Madrid. Foden pulls it across, and there's no saving that. Erling Haaland with his 43rd goal this season. 19 and a half minutes in, pretty much. Not even really that. We're 1-0 down. It's not great at all, but it's kind of inevitable, isn't it? It's so difficult to stop these players. They are so unbelievably good. Bernardo, Bellingham, Christensen wins that. Pau Torres, back to Christensen. Wood-Prowse. Wirtz loses it out to Bernardo. Bellingham coming forward. And it somehow squeezes underneath Ruben. I want to see this replay. Do I even have replays on? Yeah, replays are on. I want to see this replay. It's a poor pass. Bernardo easily collects. Bellingham, look at the amount of space he has. That shot in there by Ruben basically goes through him. We're going to need to try and change something here. But I have no clue what we can do. This team is just too good. It really is. And they now leapfrog us in the table and we're down to third. Fuck, man, I really didn't think it would be this bad. I thought we would be able to put up a pretty solid fight. Obviously things need to change. I'm just not sure what right now, as there's another highlight. Come on, let's start doing what we do so well. Frimpong wins that, and here we go. Here's a counter-attacking opportunity. Torres, Fabinho. It's all the way back. Okay, we're playing quite nice little football here, and Bowen has it. We're kind of being forced backwards, and that was a risky ball into Todibo, but it works out. This is good. This is actually very good football, as Bunani tries to take on his man. Guardiola wins the tackle, but Bunani recollects it and swings it into the back post. Rakov! What a choice. Rakov makes it 2-1, and this game is very much still alive. A huge goal. Don't you dare. Fuck's sake. I cannot believe this. That's lovely football by Bunani. There's no way. That is so narrowly offside. Definitely deserved that goal there. Lovely football played, but clearly substitutions need to be made. But before we can even do that, Edison on the ball finds John Stones here. Bernardo Silva. Manchester City moving with so much danger as Edison launches it forward. Fabinho wins the header over Foden. And Bunani now again on this right hand side. Bunani could pull this back. No, it's well blocked. Frimpong. Fabinho, Bunani finds Ward-Prowse, and it's a lovely goal by the skipper. The man of the save, James Ward-Prowse, makes it 2-1. And for right now at least, there's still a bit of life left as Evan Ferguson is going to replace Petr Rakov. I mean, hey, there's definitely still a chance here for us. Rico Lewis just been substituted on for Kyle Walker. Mateus Nunes has replaced Bernardo Silva. Rodrigo, fuck me. That's shockingly bad. A very team effort from the edge of the box. Deflects on in. And there will be no check for it. But yeah, that is so lazy and poor. Rodrigo collects it. 2 men on him. 3 men. 4 men. And it takes a slight deflection off of somebody. And just calmly sails on into the corner. Half an hour left. And we are 2 goals down. Is there a way we can try and save this? Bowen is going to have to come off. And to be honest, I think Bunani, even though he's having a very good game, might also be coming off. Going to bring Bunani off for Elena Kenya and Kurdish on for Bowen. You could argue we've just made this team weaker. But maybe it works. Oh, that was so risky. Todibo, Ward-Prowse. No! Oh, flip another. A horrific pass by Ward-Prowse. I'm going to just make these last few changes. There's clearly nothing we're going to be able to do to win this one. Johnson and Souček on 2 veterans now of this team. Oh my god. Just such a stupid goal to concede. And I think that's what hurts the most. There's still only a 3-point differential. We're down to third, and we'd need to have both City and Chelsea lose games now. Souček finds Kurdish, and I've completely lost all intrigue. Ruben Dias, Calvin Phillips, Oh, it's just so effortless for them. Okay. Oh. Okay, Ferguson wins that. Wirtz, Souček, Johnson. Johnson driving forward down his right hand side. Ferguson at the back post. Great save by Edison. Cleared away and Foden quite calmly collects that. I don't really have anything to say. Just very, very easy for Manchester City. Johnson, Eleni Kenya. Ward-Prowse finds Eleni Kenya once more. This is a good chance here for George. George Eleni fires that well over the bar. Wasn't even close. And yeah, this is going to be the end of our first game. We look to try and get a consolation goal, try and stay in and around. Eleni Kenya! George Eleni Kenya with his second goal of the season at the back post. A really good goal as well. It is just a consolation goal, but you can see our prodigy starting to develop into a really solid striker. Give us a couple more years, I think he will be great. Well, the players are still motivated and happy, and we don't have the hardest run of games as you saw. We will check Manchester City's and Chelsea's, as we need both teams to lose here in the last 4 games. And see, we have Brighton up next. They're down in 19th place. They've not had a good time of it at all. Not really challenged anywhere where you'd expect Brighton to be challenging. But yeah, had we have won that game, we would have been on 74 points and above Chelsea in the table. Lovely. As I've clicked on the wrong button. But Chelsea, their schedule looks a little something like this. Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Bournemouth and Southampton. 4 games you'd expect them to win. We just need to hope they have a little slip up as they beat Arsenal and Manchester United. Thankfully, they did lose. They lost to us and Liverpool and drew to Fulham, which is very good. They at least gave up a few points, and you can see those were the games we needed to capitalise on, and we didn't. As for Manchester City, I love how close these title races are. They have 2 semi-final legs against Bayern. Inside of that, Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester United. So you'll expect Manchester City to surely lose something there. But you never know. 4 games left to go, and I will see you for the penultimate game of the season. And we are back. And there's huge news. As you can see there at the top, City drew with Manchester United in the Manchester derby, so we're back in breathing distance. It should also be said Chelsea also with a draw. They drew 2-2 against Brentford, so that leaves us in this position. We won our games. We beat Brighton 4-1, West Brom 3-0, 19th and 20th respectively. You'd expect that. But Fulham, as we've seen, they have taken points off of both of Chelsea and Manchester City. So we need to be very aware. Evan Ferguson's picked up a slight injury, so he isn't starting. However, the rest of the team is pretty much at its best. Souček, slight knock. Abin Rabiot. No, I'll keep Souček there. I always trust him. Here's the squad. I feel confident that we can beat Fulham. However, the fact that they got points off of City and Chelsea does certainly make me worry a little bit. Definitely our main squad, Rakov back in top form. Very, very good player. I'm so excited to that he's grown the way he has. Lamine Yamal, you'll get my vote. I like Lamine. Here we go. First highlight, straight away we have a chance here. Bunani, Ward-Prowse, Frimpong over the top to Bowen at the back post. Knocks it down to Victor Christensen. However, Harrison Reed right there on top of things. He launches that forward. Pau Torres collects. Christensen, Bowen, Fabinho. Bunani once more. Okay, we're moving things along pretty well here. Frimpong. Great pull across. Rakov, so close. Bowen now with a very good chance. He finds Fabinho, not quite. James Ward-Prowse again pulls across, easy for Labrovic. Okay, not much happening here. For our final ever episode, I'd like more than pure anguish, but that would kind of be the tale of this West Ham save, if we're being honest with ourselves. This final episode really snuck up upon me, I will be honest, because obviously of the way the season went. I felt like there was so many opportunities here for us to drag this out a little longer, and I really wanted to enjoy this team a whole lot more because it's been so fun, this save. Bowen at the back post makes it 1-0, his 8th goal of the season. I love the fact that he is still popping up with goals. But I'd like to say, please like and subscribe because this has been such a fun save. When I started this back in the beta, I don't think I could have ever dreamed of how much fun I'd have with this team. The players that signed, the stories that were made, the fact I felt genuinely upset at losing Scott McSauce, the happiness I have seeing the likes of Hayden Hackney in real life now, or just so many emotions I have for this team, which I never thought I'd have. Pau Torres makes it 2-0. Huge signing, exactly the reason I brought him in. I knew he was going to get a few goals, and that is his 6th goal this season. Jeremy Frimpong currently on an 8.8, and we're only just into the second half. Unbelievable from him. But yeah, I think we can, obviously this squad for this season is very different to a lot of the other years, but so many stories, the likes of Messi and Mohamed Kudus's fight to be involved in the team, the Scott McSauce era. Petr Rakov is fouled, and that should be a penalty. And who can forget the greatest ever panic signing, Patson Daka. Panic Daka, I should have called him. But yeah, panic signing, and he worked out so well. Of course, we also had just amazing players. Ward-Prowse looking to make this 3-0 and does. A lovely finish. He gets a goal to partner along his assist. 11th goal of the season. Yeah, we've spent so many seasons here fighting and battling for any sort of silverware, and I think it's kind of funny, and definitely the story to take away is just that perseverance. You know, we never really have been able to win anything, but it doesn't really matter. This team feels successful, and there's just such a gap in the way it would get for us to actually win something. How good some of these teams are. You know, how are you ever going to overthrow a team like Manchester City? Ward-Prowse swings it into Debo, and that is number 4. So 2 corner kicks, a penalty. We are so good from set pieces. James Ward-Prowse, definitely the man. This whole team was built around, from bottom to top. Pretty much every player we've signed has been around the idea of how good will you be when Ward-Prowse calls on you. 4-0. It's effortless. It's beautiful. Mohamed Kudus is going to come on. George Lenny Kenya. We never quite got to see his story unfold. I think I've seen glimpses of it this season. The few moments he's had to shine. Evan Ferguson finds Fabinho, and it's 5-0. A lovely assist there from Evan Ferguson. But yeah, the couple moments he's had to maybe pop up and get a goal or two, he's done superbly well in this season. Last year, not so much. And of course, as I'm going to substitute him on, actually, the story of Benny Boy. What a player he is. Never been our starting right back, but someone who's so dependable. And I've never worried about playing him. But that's a lovely 5-0 win over Fulham. We definitely don't drop any points to them, but we are still just the 1 point behind Chelsea. Great on goal difference, but we need Chelsea to either draw or lose, and we now face Liverpool, the team I know all too well, a team who we've never really had too many fights with. You know, Manchester United, Atletico Madrid, Manchester City all feel much more like rivals, but it should be said that they have won the Premier League. Back in the 23-24 season, they were a very good team. As you can see, each of the 3 years we've played, we've finished third, and it looks like that could happen again. As akin to last season, the points tally is so close. I can't believe that it's going to happen all over again. Chelsea, West Ham and Manchester City 1 point dividing the top 3 this season. Are we going to be able to finally get that? Because if we lose, you can pretty much guarantee it will be 4 seasons, and all 4 seasons we finished in 3rd place. This season was a battle for that 3rd place, as was this. So we went from battling to just about squeezing to now feeling like we're just getting left out. Jeremy Frimpong, an amazing game for him. He's really hit his top form right when it mattered. But I'll see you now for this game against Liverpool, our final ever game. Well, here we go with the last ever game of the West Ham save. We face Liverpool to say goodbye. 1 point off of Chelsea, who'll be facing Southampton. Joint on points with Manchester City, who'll be facing Nottingham Forest. We definitely have the hardest of the 3, but I believe in us. Come on, lads. Come on. It's going to be Trubin, Christensen, Torre, Todibo, Frimpong, Fabinho, Ward-Prowse, Bowen, Vert, Bunani and Rakov to say goodbye. On the bench, Ortega, Diamande, Johnson, Aitnori, Neves, Souček, Eleni Kenya, Kudish and Ferguson. I cannot believe this is goodbye. It doesn't quite feel like it's settled in yet. But no matter what, we need to win. That is the big one. We need to win this game. Just so you know, we got given the budget for next season if I want to stay on. Yeah, it's a cool £90 million. Like, that's why it needs to end, because at some point I just signed the best players in the world over and over and over again. Come on, can we finish this off winning the league title? Like I said we would. I said we'd go till we win the league title. Trubin, great save, denies Curtis-Jones there pretty early. And you know, I'm going to go cautious and leaning into what I learned from that game against Manchester City. I'm not going to try and play it out to the defence. I think that's where we conceded most of our goals earlier on. Ansu Fati back to Szoboszlai, who is onside. Fati? No, Szoboszlai was offside, thank God. Early on, the highlight though. Tell you what, we'll see Liverpool formation here. 4-2-3. Nico, Jones, Szoboszlai, Joe Gomez playing left back, Sakina Pavlovic, whatever. No, we'll get rid of this. Latest scores. Chelsea are 2-0 up against Southampton. Right now, nothing matters unless Southampton can get a massive comeback. And Rakov, probably my best signing, injured. In comes Evan Ferguson. Hopefully, that's enough, but that's not great at all. Now Liverpool with a highlight. Sakina Pavlovic finds Nico Gonzalez. Jones, Fati, all the way back to Alisson, and now Manchester City have scored, and we're in 3rd place. Trubin, good solid hands. Finds Torres. Bowen. Christensen just about keeps on play, and it's a lovely 1-2-1-2 there. Vert, Bunani. Oh, he should have found Frimpong. And instead, Fatty with a pretty solid interception there. Canate. Oh! Ferguson puts us 1-0 up. Great goal there by Evan Ferguson with his 13th goal of the season. Really good strike, and it's a great thing, maybe, that we did lose Petr Rakov. But you can see Manchester City 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest. This doesn't matter right now. Can Southampton pull one back? And João Gomez does on the 28th minute. It's 2-1. We're still alive here. We are still alive. Southampton need to score one more goal. Nottingham Forest equaled up against Manchester City. That's pretty big. Anthony Elanga and then Bernardo Silva puts them back in the lead. Jeremy Frimpong. We cannot forget we are facing Liverpool at the end of the day. Frimpong crosses it quite easily there from Alisson. It's going to hurt so much when we go back and look at some of the really stupid points we dropped along the way. Kanate, Pavlovic, Strahinja finds Nico, and now Szoboszlai. Pavlovic once more. We're putting pressure on. Trent inverting, finds Salah. That's a lovely through ball, and he's scattered it. He has absolutely scuffed that one so far wide. 1-0 up against Liverpool. That's big. That is very big. Darwin having a terrible game. Salah. The midfield are doing pretty well for them, but their offence really not having a good day. I'm delighted with your performance. Let's keep this up. Nico. Darwin. Great tackle there by Fabinho. Pautare, Fabinho. Oh no. Horrible, just misjudged touch there. And Curtis Jones drives through. Very good. And Darwin Núñez equalises to make it 1-1. Oh, and that all came from a really poor touch by Fabinho against his old club. The team he won the Champions League with. What a terrible, terrible touch. And I'm still all too focused in on what are Southampton doing. And now it's Darwin, and he's released again. Pautare is a very good tackle, but falls to Ansu Fati. Szoboszlai, and it rackets off of the backboard there. We obviously need to make a couple of changes. I'm very scared to. Gomez, Szoboszlai, Ansu. Oh, that's lovely football there by Ansu Fati. Trooping with a good save. It's time to make our first... we're going to make a double change. Bunani off, Kudish on, and Fabinho coming out here for Thomas Souček. He's having a very bad game. Going to go a little bit more attacking now. I'm going to believe in us. Southampton yet to get that equaliser. And we... no matter what, we still need to score. Szoboszlai with a corner. Kanate at the back post, and we concede from a corner. Where we are strongest, we concede. That's really poor. George Ilenikenya and Ryan Aït-Nouri are going to be our next double change. With 20 minutes left to go, we've made pretty much every change we can. City 3-1 up. Chelsea 3-2. That, I'm so glad I didn't see that. Adam Armstrong equaled things up. Chilwell immediately took the lead back for them. So at the end right now, with 50 minutes left to go, none of it matters. We couldn't have stopped Chelsea anyway. But come on. I still want to believe that we can do something. I just want 2 goals. It looks like it's all starting to... What the fuck? Southampton have equalled things up. Another penalty from Adam Armstrong. No, we have to win this game. Fuck. What do you even do in this situation? No, I've made all 5 subs. Fuck, I have made all 5 subs. That's the only thing I can think of. No. No, don't you fucking dare. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Fucking throw the water bottle. Oh, you fucking kidding me. We lose 2-1 to Liverpool after being 1-0 up. And as the game processes, here's your league table. We finished third for the 4th consecutive season. Manchester City win. And had we have beaten Liverpool, we would have won the league title. So, before I do anything else, let's go back through this season and talk about some of the very fun ways we fucked up. We lost 2-1 to Brentford. Had we have won that game, we would have won the league title. But let's not forget, this entire run, the opening 4 games, were terrible. We would then have a very good Carabao Cup run, and start to build up some form. But a draw to Everton, a draw to Bournemouth, and a draw to Nottingham Forest kept me panicking. And I was right too. As whilst we would perform very well and get all the way up to the Carabao Cup final, it would be this month, Arby, where it all collapsed. 1-0 loss to Arsenal, a 2-1 loss to Barcelona, and a 1-0 loss to Swansea would knock us out of the FA Cup. We were out of the FA Cup, but narrowly progressed through in the knockout playoffs of the UEFA Champions League, where we beat AZ Alkmaar pretty comfortably. A huge 3-1 win would overcome a 3-2 loss earlier on over a month ago, as we beat Chelsea 3-1 and progressed through to the final thanks to a late Trevor Chalobah own goal, where we would then lose to Southampton on penalties, and so within the space of a month we'd been knocked out of the FA Cup and lost in the finals to 2 considerably weaker teams. And then we would lose to PSG. 1 goal the difference, but that goal there by Vitinha would be what knocked us out in the end. You could argue that goal by Xavi Simons, but yeah, we would be knocked out over the 2 legs to PSG, where we would then have an amazing run of form, but 2 losses to both Liverpool and Manchester City would eventually spell my doom, as for the 4th consecutive season we finish in 3rd place. As for the story of Joey Quinn, after 4 years he played 243 games, won 155, drew 34 and lost 54. He would score 533, conceding 242. 63% win percentage is not bad. His preferred formation was the 4-3-3, though we all know it was actually the 4-2-3-1. We had a single Manager of the Year award, or that shite, and my manager timeline. Let's go all the way back to the start. We were hired, 8 return, not him. Don't worry, it's not the Adam Johnson you think of. I think I made that joke when it first happened. I don't even care. Do you know when you're just that depressed? We signed to Debo for £40 million alongside, remember, David De Gea. That huge win over Chelsea. I wish we'd have been able to do that. Osman Kamara. I don't remember signing him at all. But we would sign Anatoly Trubin. Oh, it just doesn't matter. So when you're just so depressed, I can't believe this season has gone the exact, like, I think that's what hurts the most. 4 years of the same old shit. We lost in the semi-final legs to Liverpool back at the start of the season. We also, of course, lost in the Carabao Cup semi-final by 2 goals to Manchester United. The year after that, we had progressed very well, but that late goal by Serge Gnabry in the 121st minute would knock us out of the Champions League quarter-finals. That's without saying we lost in the Carabao Cup final. And then, of course, last season we would be knocked out in the semi-finals. A horrible, horrible game as we would lose to Barcelona by 4 goals to 1 in the second leg of the quarter-finals. Had we have conceded just 2 or 3, we may well have made it through to the semi-finals. And of course, the way that season ended, we can't forget that, with the 2-0 loss to Nottingham Forest knocking us off of our pedestal. Yeah, that is the tale of West Ham United. We were a couple inches oh so close, and in the end we would just keep losing. Thank you all for watching this stupid, incredible save. I have had a ton of fun, and whilst definitely I've gotten depressed and I will end this on a high note. Thank you all so much for watching. I really am grateful that you got to kind of experience this story with me. I could never in my life have imagined it to be as fun as it has become. The reason why I'm progressing is I did want to see if maybe we would see the... I love that. Thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine fucking Bateman saying we're in disappointing collapse. Before we go, let's talk about... I do want to put some of the records, and that's why I'm trying to progress. So I'll see you for the records just before I say goodbye. So here we are for the end of season review. Some great signings. 114 man Punani, who they were happy about because we got a lower wage. Some of the best signings, Jeremy Frimpong got signing of the season at £65 million release clause. Huge fan of Rabiot. I think he'd have played more next season. Pau Torres probably my best signing. Bunani was obviously amazing. Fabinho for free as well. Stefan Ortega not bad as a backup. Ruben Neves, another great free signing. I mean, we made a couple very good signings this season. I think that showed. They're pretty happy with him. In Champions League, they were pretty high with every cup for you, and Carabao Cup, you couldn't care less. Biggest win was 6-0. Finances, I see, we did amazing. This was how we landed for most of the season, which is kind of true. I feel like we did the thing at the back more. Fans player of the season this year was Pau Torres. Young player of the season continues to be Petr Rakov. Frimpong sign of the season. Goal of the season was James Ward-Prowse. I don't feel like watching that. Top goal scorer Petr Rakov. Most assists, which was a record. James Ward-Prowse with 23 this season. Evan Ferguson got most man of the matches. And highest average rating, Pau Torres. Most passes completed Diamonde. The manager timeline we had a little look at, but I want to see is there a way to have a look at our, like, what I really want to see was best 11. Here we go. I want to see how I'd agree. I agree. Trubin is our best ever goalkeeper. James Ward-Prowse in at right back. No. Right back would probably go to João Mario, in my opinion. Centre back to Debo Aguirre, I definitely agree with. And I agree with Ait Nouri as our left back. Souček, undeniable. McTominay and Ward-Prowse would be my midfield. Though I understand having Kudish in there. The front three, Benrahma, Bowen and Rakov. Now, Benrahma's an interesting one, but I might well agree. If you think back here, that opening season, he had a very good year. But I won't agree. I'll say our best left winger was probably Mohamed Kudus. I think I'd put Kudus there. The other options would be... Who would be our other left winger options? I honestly could not tell you at all. Who else? Gonzalo Borges, definitely not. Someone who I might put in that team? who is there in the bench. Marcus Edwards is a shout, but of course Petr Rakov, undeniably our top player. 116 appearances he made for us, 51 goals. On the bench, David De Gea, of course, Diamonde. Yeah, I'll agree with Diamonde. João Mario, Fabinho. I actually agree with that somewhat. I understand why he had a very good season this year. 54 appearances in 1 year tells you just how important he was to us. But I do feel like you've got to look at maybe a slightly different midfielder. Someone more like... trying to think, what other like backup midfielders have we had? Hayden Hackney? Who else? I'm trying to think back actually now through the team. Samu, arguably? Oh shit, I'd have Lionel Messi as our bench player for the midfield maybe. Try to have a look here through some of the players. Hayden Hackney, I think, might be that guy. The year before that, did we sell anyone who it was kind of like, oh, Flynn Downs? Definitely not. He didn't play much. I guess you make a good point. We haven't had the strongest midfield in the world. So yeah, I guess I'll agree with that for our team of all time. Fabinho was very good. Marcus Edwards, I agree with. Paqueta definitely out for Messi. And Evan Ferguson, though I would probably say Patson Daka. And let's look back through, just before we go, at the transfers. Back at the start of the year, of course, we cannot forget some of the signings. I know Ahmedozich signed in at the end of the season, going into the next. Never got to play for us, but an amazing player. His season obviously left in January. He went to Al Hilal, had an amazing year there. You cannot be surprised. Some other great names we brought in. Anatoly Trubin around the same time. Best goalkeeper in the world. Marcus Edwards was signed on January deadline day for £11.5 million. He left to Leeds and would only make a few sparing appearances, but a very good player for us. Hayden Hackney, of course, joined for £18.5 million. What a player he was. Tammy Abraham, who has gone to Manchester United now, signed for 50 and sold for 50 just 1 year later. Had a very good time, but back in the Premier League, and I didn't even know. Patson Daka, of course, one of the best loan deals. Scott McSauce, who could ever forget the McSauce man? That opening season, 33 appearances, 15 goals, 6 assists. And he never really let us down. It must be said, over in Al Sadd, doing very well for himself. So when the players sold, it's easy to forget, but that £65 million from Kurt Zouma completely changed the projection of this entire save. It can't be forgot that he did do that. I wonder how Hackney's getting on now these days. He was sold, of course, to Fulham. Brighton, sorry. He was sold to Brighton, just got relegated, and yet didn't have the best season of his life. The year after that, we can't forget, confirmed signings of Daka and McTominay. We would also bring in João Mario, Ait Nouri, our son, Johnny Quinn, who hasn't been too bad for the youth setup. Jeremy Doku, Joe Hart, Brahim Diaz, David Otto, who I did just look at David Otto. He had a very good time in the youth setup. For £10 million, I think he was actually a pretty smart signing, in my opinion. He, again, is another player who maybe could have done more. Gonçalo Borges was signed for £43 million in January, alongside Samu on the same day. But the big one, Petr Rakov, joining from RB Salzburg for just £19.5 million. What a time that was. Umar Soleil was signed from Juve for £12 million, sold for 50. We can't say we didn't make good moves. Of course, this was when Fabianski would leave. Tilo Kekra and Paqueta would leave. It was Soleil who replaced Kekra. Danny Ings went off to Getafe. Louis Tsao left permanently. Areola also left. That was when Joe Hart came in. No one would have thought Joe Hart would make as many appearances as he did. Benny Boy went out on loan. That was only our second season. That's unbelievable. Aaron Cresswell in at left back. George Earthy. A couple of the big ones was Flynn Downs and Andy Irving officially leaving the squad. Andy Irvine, who went on loan. We got 1.7 million for him there, and then in the same season sold him for another 6.5. Then, of course, last season Lionel Messi came into the side. Alongside him, we brought in Rodrigo De Paul, Daniel Iverson, £20 million, Eleni Kenya, Pierluigi Galini, Pedro Porro on loan, Diamonde for 50, Evan Ferguson for 91, and probably our best signing alongside Rakov, Victor Christensen. This would when we would start to lose a few club legends. McTominay out on loan. We lost João Mario to Newcastle in the that probably if we'd have kept him, I think we'd have done better this year. Patton Daka left for 33. Macro Cornet would officially leave alongside Ben Armour. Mavropanos, who I completely forgot we even had. He was great for us. I think he might be another player who could have been in the best 11. And of course, Soufal, who was very good for us. And then this year, without having to remember too much, the sales of Ahmed Ojic, Aguirre, McTominay, Hackney, who else? Emerson, great player Emerson. Unbelievably good for us for those 2 years. Yeah, it's sad. It's been a very, very good time for us, and I want to remember the save always as something that was fun. It was depressing, it was difficult, but it was fun. Oh, there has been some new inductees. I think we've already seen that. But 4 years in a row, we would always finish third. What does this mean, Shady? Oh shit, have I just broke something? Thank you all for watching. What are your opinions on that best 11? But for now, it's goodbye, and I'll see you for that Hall of Fame save. Keep an eye out. Bye bye.